Welcome to our first venture into the post-game content in Kirby and a Forgotten Land, which you might be able to tell if you know the game and know the differences that you see in the title screen. And welcome N Mario, who has already come in straight from the start. So we did hit the end credits of this game in the previous session, and that only took me to about 75% of my file once I mopped up that one last achievement with the World 6 boss. So we've got lots left to do. There is an entire post-game world that we haven't taken a look at yet. There's also the new second level of the Colosseum boss battles that we haven't attempted just yet, and which I'll probably start with today, in lieu of the other thing I was considering doing, which was the new boss rush mode that had been patched into Metroid Dread, which I only discovered had been patched in just a little earlier today. I found out about it about half an hour before starting the stream. So yeah, we are going to do the Ultimate Cup, consisting of 12 battles, which, as you can see from the preview art, is going to cover everything up to the pre-end credit boss, so all of the bosses that we've seen so far. But we'd better pick out an ability first before we do anything like that. And just get everything buffed up. First of all, let's take Deep Sleep. What Deep Sleep is going to do for me here is we're going to take a bit of a snooze and just prepare some kind of buff in advance. And then we're going to take Time Crash, because if Gorimondo is first, we will just cheese Gorimondo right away with a couple of hits from Time Crash, and just try to minimize our time on that as well as any kind of fuss. So now this will be my first time through the Ultimate Cup, so I don't quite know how it's going to be structured. I mean, it's going to have all of the main bosses, but probably also a few of the mini-boss arenas, which we had to deal with in the first tier Meta Knight Cup as well, back when we cleared World 3. And yeah, let me just make sure that we've configured each of these powers to be what I want. In general, we have everything on the tier 2 upgrade, other than Wild Hammer, which is the only third upgrade that was seen to any of these powers. I don't know if we'll keep Dragonfire over Volcano Fire. We had heard that Volcano Fire is something that's still relevant, despite some of the lower damage numbers and lack of flight, but in general, I think it's going to be a good idea, unless we know any better, to stick with the powers in their fully upgraded state. I have currently not upgraded any of these powers beyond their current level yet. It is possible to upgrade each of these with some rare stones. Notably, it's also possible to upgrade the base powers if for some reason you wanted to do that. And it actually only requires 3 rare stones if you decide to do it. I don't know why you would, apart from the fact that it's cheaper and more accessible, or for perhaps it's for the benefit of people who have not collected every scroll in the game. But there is, in fact, a reason why you might want to do it. Would you ever want to do it with Sleep? No, you wouldn't, because Sleep has no real damage output, and so you cannot power that up. But you can power up Crash, which is something that we should keep in mind. And you can power up any of the base level powers, which actually makes me wonder how much Masked Hammer is going to cost. It's also going to be 5, okay. Yeah, all of these, it seems, going to be 5. Actually, the lower level abilities only cost 2, so that's something we hadn't really checked. Let me just see if that's the case for something like Volcano Fire. Yeah. And actually, Dragonfire only costs 3, so we haven't really scanned all of these yet. Let's just take a look at the costs, in fact, just so we know what we're dealing with. Ranger is 2, 2, and 3. Okay, I guess some of the ones we were looking at were simply special. 2, 2, 5, and 5. So, yeah, it's not evenly distributed by any means. This, I think we saw already. 3 and 5. And this we just saw, but let's walk through it anyway. Yeah, so it is possible to work on these just right away, but of course, if we clear the Colosseum once, we'll have 5 rare stones and we could get 1 powered up straight away, so... Yeah, cutter, 2, 2, and 2. Okay, buzzsaw actually only takes 2. And that's interesting, because buzzsaw is so useful that upgrading that right away may not be a bad idea. 2, 3, and 2, so all of the sword upgrades are fairly cheap as well. Yeah, I guess it's just for the really high damage items, like... it might even be scaled with damage, in fact, now that I look at it. So for example... not exactly. I'm looking at the power rating on these and wondering if there's any kind of correlation, but obviously Wild Hammer and Crash are the most expensive ones we've seen so far. 2, 2, and 3. So most of these are actually pretty accessible. 2, 2, and 3 for Tornado. Storm Tornado actually is pretty useful here, so once we get up to 5, maybe we will upgrade 2 separate abilities rather than just 1, just to get things moving, but... One thing I don't know is whether any of these powers apply to their corresponding puzzle challenge rooms. I do not think they do, because that would mess up the balance. But it is relevant to me because currently there's only 1 timed challenge in the game that I have not been able to clear yet. And that is the one for Wild Hammer, where I'm about 30 or 40 seconds off of the benchmark. And nowhere close. Anyway, now that we've scanned around for some of the prices, let's just get into it and play. Let's play. Welcome to the Colosseum. If you're here to enter a tournament, you came to the right spot, yeah. So yeah, previously we took 1 death on Meta Knight Cup because I was careless. If you take a death, what happens is that you can pay to just continue with the boss that you died on, except the time keeps on rolling. So you lose time, but not progress if you choose to die and respawn. So it's not pure survival by any means, unless you're going for a record. Let's see it. And yeah, the buff timer doesn't roll until you get into the fight. We have 6 Maxim Tomatoes, and we've got Meta Knight Sword and Bomb. We're going to keep Time Crash for the first fight, which is actually not going to be Gormondo. If you look at it, it is... if you take a look at the illustration, it kind of looks like Silly Dillo, doesn't it? With the cage. But we'll see, because like I said, I have no idea about this cup, so maybe Time Crash is not that useful. It is Silly Dillo, but given that it powered up, okay, so we'll do the rest as normal. That's fine, because mostly this fight is all about a dodging pattern. Okay. And... oh, okay. Didn't get much damage in, but... so yeah, we should actually watch the silhouettes for the relevant bosses then, and... anyway, he's going to get into the next phase. The commentator is going to say something about this getting more intense, which it is. Previously had some trouble with this part of the pattern, but I think we just outrun it. And then we dodge this part. And this part. Yeah, so we outrun the big spin. And it makes it much easier. Missed the last shot, unfortunately. Or we could have made it right here. Actually going to do this perfectly so far. Okay. Missing a few too many swallows here. Not quite perfect. We took one little chip of damage at the end, but thankfully we only expended about half of the buff timer, so we're fine. So it looks like Silly Dillo starts. I don't know if the order is randomized or anything like that, but Goramondo is going to be next. Given that, I think we're actually going to go Space Ranger, because I do want to try to engage him from long range if I can. I actually have not tried Ranger against him. I don't believe we had unlocked it at the time, so... And yeah, that just wrecks him. Absolutely wrecks him, in fact. And of course it helps that we do have the attack buff from Rest earlier still, so... From Sleep, rather. Okay, so can we tell who this is from the silhouette? It's not the tree. I don't think it's Claroline or DDD. I actually don't know who this is. It looks like DDD, in fact, but I don't know which form of DDD. It might be the initial form. In which case, let's just stay on Space Ranger for the time being. Yeah, so it's going to be World 4 DDD. We previously just time crashed this, and then oh, whoops! Need to get out of the counter phase soon enough to actually dodge the attack, or we'll start getting taken down in terms of health. I'm a little bit careless here, perhaps. Nope, taking way too much damage. Okay. Now this phase is where the ground begins to shake apart. And we'll see if we have any room for charge shots here. Okay. Okay, good. We can get a pretty decent lock on, in fact, and we'll want to take health replenishment after this, especially with the damage buff about to expire, but getting through 3 fights with only 1 refresh I think is pretty good. It looks like it's going to be some kind of mini-boss arena next. You can see that with Wild Frosty and all that. Actually, we can rest up here because we can just deep sleep our way through this a few times and heal up, get a buff. So yeah, sleep is actually an excellent thing to draw here, even if we are limited to the Wild Hammer afterwards, which I'm not going to complain about, given how good the Wild Hammer is. Also, you can load up on multiple buffs. I didn't know that. By stacking Deep Sleep. I had no idea. I thought it was just going to give me 1 at a time. But possibly, if we just stack it... Yeah, we reload that. Let's see if we get the speed buff as well, or if it's just attack and defense. And then we'll have 1 big arena battle with Wild Hammer. Nope, no speed. That's fine. Didn't expect it. And yeah. Not Wild Hammer. What? I don't know why I could keep calling it Wild Hammer. It's Masked Hammer. It's probably because you... get it against that wild form of DDD. Oh, because Wild Hammer was the other form, wasn't it? The second form. Wow. This just wrecks him quickly. Good. Now you can try to switch to another power as you go, but I think I'm going to keep Wild Hammer. I quite like how we're doing with it. And, oh, that's it. Okay. Easy. And we have plenty of buff left for Chloraline. For Chloraline, do we want to go Hammer or do we want to go Crystal? There is a bit of a dodge phase with her, but yeah, we can probably have enough time to charge up the Hammer to counter. So let's stick with Hammer for now. Huge damage output. I think it's going to work well. Let's try to get her down quickly. And yeah, the counter out of the dodge is pretty good as well. Gets the Hammer directly into the spin. Anyway, she's going to try to whip all these swords down. We can switch the sword if we want, but I don't see why we would. And we're going to get her down really quickly. Okay, 7 more to go. Next is going to be, by the looks of it, another combination fight, I think, given that the lower one sort of looks like a Wild Hammer. I can't really tell what this is. Thinking back to who we've fought so far, rather. Do we want to switch to Cutter? No, let's just stay on Hammer for now. It's been doing the work, so. Yeah, it's going to be Wild Edge here. And there we go. It took a little bit of a chip there at the end, but... yeah, the Masked Hammer damage output is fantastic for these fights. And it's just going to be those two, I think. Do we want Tornado? No, we can't get it, so... we can switch to Tornado here if we want. The next fight is going to be Wispy, or rather, Tropic Woods. I think we're probably fine staying on Hammer for now, except we can rest up and get to Tornado, since we have the opportunity to do so. And maybe resting for the additional minute buff is going to be better, since it allows me to heal. Yeah, let's switch to Tornado, actually. And... unless the Hammer remains active enough that I can switch back to it immediately. Nope. It goes away too soon. That's fine, at least we know. Just a moment too soon, in fact. So the trade-off for going for Deep Sleep to get all the buffs back up is that we do need to switch powers, but I was okay with that since Tornado is amazing. I don't know if it'll be that good for this fight since we need to get pretty close up to the boss. Oh, also, I forgot to get the second buff from Deep Sleep. Oh well, that's okay. Yeah, the high movement on this fight is actually really good with Tornado. Because you can just get right up to the boss the whole time, and... there we go, it's just going to get through this phase pretty quickly. Oops. And we'll kick up some of these stars along the way. Mark the Merchant, what's the plan? The plan currently is... well, we're on the ultimate cup of the Colosseum, and we're going to do that, and we're going to follow that up with some of the post-game levels, which I have not seen yet. We did hit the end credits in the previous stream. Next is Meta Knight. If I time crash him, we will have to do the rest of the fight as normal, or we can go Hammer. I think I did Tornado versus Tornado for Meta Knight the last time I faced him. Very tempting to just time crash him, but he's a pretty quick boss, so I don't know if that's the best idea. Yeah, because time crash could... it really depends on our damage output for that. I think it would be fun. That's the main consideration. Time crash is always fun. quite like doing sword. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Or we could just lose time crash immediately. I didn't grab the sword the first time I faced Meta Knight, so I didn't consider that. So you don't have to swallow the sword, you just touch it right away. And okay, that's okay. We can just spin into him. And it's actually going to be pretty good so far. Whoa, okay. We'll just dodge everything. Yeah, and then in this phase you would have plenty of projectiles for normal if you had decided to time crash out into that. You can block one of his moves with sword. I didn't know that. Oh, I probably should have paid attention to this before I looked over at chat. I hadn't seen him do that move before on me. I have done it myself, of course, but... Yeah, because I didn't pick up the sword at all the first time I faced him in the Meta Knight tier, rather. The Meta Knight Cup. There we go. I can block the big cutscene move, I see. Yeah. That's the first time I had seen the big cutscene move, so I just didn't see it coming. Anyway, we've got plenty of health replenishment available, so I'm just going to take one. And that's going to fill me up right away with 4 fights remaining. So we've got more than enough to get through the rest. Masked Hammer DDD is next. We are going to take Cutter. And yeah, I got plenty of practice with his pattern previously, so we'll hopefully do okay. Good thing I had the defense buff still up for Meta Knight just now, given how much punishment I took. Okay, I knew actually previously I just run away from this move. Okay. Yeah, because the last thing I did in previous stream was do the speed kill on and the no damage kill on this boss here, so we're somewhat warmed up for it. Look, this is just phase 1. Phase 2, he's going to have the beast run. You'll always advocate for doing Meta Knight with sword. Yeah, totally understandable. It's kind of a grand tradition in its own right. But yeah, my first time with Meta Knight in the Meta Knight Cup, I am pretty sure I did Tornado. And given his own Tornado move, I guess that's reasonably close enough. Love the Cutter move at melee range, of course. It combos in to a boss like that so nicely. Also, notice that this partly grows back if we only take chip damage. It does keep track of whether you use power-ups. I didn't use items for the power-ups. The power-ups were entirely from Deep Sleep. So I would assume the Deep Sleep buff doesn't count towards it. I didn't use items at all. I believe you are correct about using items not applying at the same time. A good question about Meta Knight and the Tornado. Anyway, I actually don't know the endgame fights very well. 3 more is going to be the final boss sequence, starting with Leon Gar. I believe I did take Tornado into him the last time I faced him, but we'll see. Your friend told you Deep Sleep does still count. Yeah. This is my first time trying it, so I have no idea. Because last time I played Coliseum, I did not have sleep at all, so... Okay, his tells are pretty simple to read here. Oh, whoops, got hit. Yeah, love how well you can keep the combo going with Cutter. We're going to go into second phase. Yeah, I've only seen this fight once and I didn't really learn the pattern, so... That's okay, that was fairly readable at least. Oh, whoop, better get out of there. But yeah, I know from doing the time checks with the Scholar Waddle Dee that the Scholar Waddle Dee record times are strictly with no items. Whoops. There we go. I have never tried this cup. This is my first time with it. Because on my last stream I ended right after finishing the end credits and finishing the Masked Hammer Challenge without the time benchmark, which I haven't been able to beat yet, and the final Waddle Dee from DDD. So that's all I've done. This is my first time through Ultimate Cup. We can go sword for the next... Oh no, the next bit is the chase sequence, right? I actually want to stay at range for the chase sequence. Homing Bomb is probably good for it too, in fact, but we'll stay on Cutter, just because I'm comfortable with it. Okay. Yeah, this fight I don't really know well either. Interestingly enough, you can drop Cutter like this. And as you chase... Whoops. Let's pay attention here. Yeah, this is another fight that I just don't really feel like I know. I love that you can do this with Cutter, though. Just to preload it ahead of time and then continue running away. Ranger probably is useful here. We said that last time I was here, too. What past Kirby games have I played? I played Adventure, I played Superstar, both of the Paintbrush games, so Canvas Curse and Rainbow Curse, and Epic Yarn and Star Allies. And those are ones I can think of off the top of my head. I missed a lot of the portable ones, including the two that were on 3DS. So I'm not a serious completionist by any means, but I played the big classic ones and the touchscreen ones as well. So, yeah, we actually got through this without using too many of the replenishment items. For the final fight, do I want Tornado or Sword? You know what? Let's be fancy and let's go Sword. I do know that we had some issues doing it with Space Ranger, I think, when I did the fight initially because of range. Let's do Sword. What percentage am I going for in this game? Ideally 100%, but we don't know yet because I haven't seen the final True Arena or anything. We have 300 Waddle Dees already for the standard levels, so I've done 100% of the standard content up to World 6, other than the time check mark on the Masked Hammer, which I'm very far from actually doing. Okay, back to Elvelis. Let's try to do it in one go. And then this is just a dodge, I think. Whoop. This is not too bad. Oh. Whoops. I say as I lose the sword. For 100%, I will need to get all the gacha figures. Yeah, that's... And I know that's going to require a couple of the ones that you can't get from the machines, and that's fine. I already rolled on the machine for everything up to set 3. I'll actually show you my gacha collection after this, so I can tell you what's going on. And yeah, I know it's going to take some work, and I don't actually know if 100% is within my ability, but we'll make a good stab at it if we can. Whoa, can I dodge? Yes, I can. Good. Alright. Whoop. Bit of a mistake there. Okay, so... Oh, hey, we actually picked the right one right away. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Not a big deal, actually. Oh, whoops. Let's dodge. Okay. And let's look for an opening. Oh. There we go. What do I think of Elfless? As in the boss or the companion? Because, hey, let's screenshot this. We got it. And yeah, that's my first time on this. And yes, it does register the time, but notice that it does have the symbols next to it that indicate that the buffs were used, I think. So yeah, the symbols are there, and maybe that's designated differently, but it does post a time. Okay, let's take the reward first, and then I'll answer your question in just a moment. Rare stone. And a special figure. Who have we got? Hey, there we go. Now that they're whole again, they're already planning their next invasion. Indeed they are. So yeah, the ending sequence, we blew through it pretty quickly on the last stream. I'm still kind of processing it. I remember one of the things that I pointed out in the last stream was that it strongly reminded me of the game The Wonderful 101. And of course, throughout many of the earlier streams of this game, I had been talking about how much it reminded me of Bayonetta as well. That there was a very strong Bayonetta flavor to a lot of the bosses and fight sequences in the Kirby and a Forgotten Land. So these you can't roll for in a machine, and given that this is kind of in the minigame zone here with the chef, the fishing, the scholar, etc., I don't actually know what I'm missing here, but I assume it is something achievement-oriented or minigame-oriented. Or maybe I need to hunt around town for these, I'm not sure. But I cannot roll for these. 2 and 3 are all done, and 4... Yeah, we have one that's based on an accomplishment, and I haven't started using the machine yet because I didn't know if we would perhaps pick any of these up randomly as we go through the post-game world, which is... Oh, you can check what the requirement is with A. I actually had no idea. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, in fact. Let's see it. Oh, entering a few present codes. Okay, that's easy. I entered a few already, in fact. That just kind of came to me naturally from the demo and from the news page. We just hadn't tried it yet. Okay, ordering lots of items. Oh, that's easy. Buying a lot of items. Yeah, so we actually have not used the shop at all in this game, which is why I don't have these. I think the sensible thing to do will be to hold these off until I have actually rolled more of the collection here. Did I clear extra hard mode with tilt and tumble? Yes, I did, and my wrist hurt a little afterwards, and I was actually kind of very worried about strain injury, but yes, I did do it. I can show you my time. We'll check some of these requirements another time. We haven't seen the post-game world yet, so I will show you my time. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, not a record or anything, but let's see if I can show you. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not going to play now, but we had extra hard on this final one, cleared it in 21 seconds. This was the only one that gave me trouble, I think, and it took me a little while to do. It took me, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes to do. It blocks out spoilers and requirements, replacing spoiler terms with question marks. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, they put a lot of thought into that system in general, so... I'm glad, though, that everything in Volume 1 is something that's very easily attainable. I don't need to think too hard about that. And anyway, the next thing we'll do, then, is we will... if I can show you the map. So, yeah, before I go to the post-game world, I'll just show you what I've done so far. And we'll go back to town afterwards. So the only thing we're missing right now is not Wild Hammer. I think it's Masked Hammer. I'm not going to do it right now because I am nowhere close to figuring this out. But our best time is still about 30 seconds off, and I just haven't found a good pattern for the group fights with a hammer to do this efficiently yet. But that's the only time check mark that we are missing. We have everything else with the treasure road. Except progress through more of the story. I didn't realize there was this here, actually. So that's new, because when I checked this the last time, it was before the end credits, or... Oh, that's interesting, because I didn't see this at all, actually. Because, yeah, the last time I checked this would have been before we had 300 Waddle Dees, I think, and it may or may not have revealed it. But we need to progress through more of the story, so, you know, we'll do that. It doesn't look like it's based on search. You have beaten it 100% yourself? Yeah, it sounded like that from what you were saying. Something that helps is holding B in the air. Okay. Anyway, let's... Oh, you mean for the hammer, yeah. I have my attack bound to Y and my jump bound to B, but I know what you mean. That's it took me a while to figure out how to do this systematically, because I kind of found by accident the kind of quad fire move here where you do this, because I was wondering how I triggered it, and it took me a little bit of testing before I figured out what it was I was doing. Also, the kind of triple shot that gets you some of these flames at range. Not as useful, I think, as the quad attack here, though, because that's quicker than charging up if your aim is decent. I don't think I'll attempt that one today, though, until I've seen the post-game levels, because I don't know how much time I will take on any of that. So let's switch to something. Doesn't particularly matter. We finished on Meta Knight. Let's start with Meta Knight as we go into the next world, perhaps. You basically did the spin attack for most of the group fights and quad fire for the monkeys and snakes. Yeah, I had a big problem with the snakes, in fact. We'll see how I'm doing for time. Later in the stream, I might go back to try the hammer challenge, but I felt pretty stumped by that when I last did it, so I'd like to see some new level content first. I keep mixing up Masked Hammer and Wild Hammer by name. I mean Masked Hammer, of course. But, yeah, so we haven't seen anything here yet. Obviously, we're not dealing with captive Waddle Dees, but rather a 0 in the bottom right and some kind of requirements out of 50 for this level. Basically, avoid the snakes and let the quad fire chip them. That makes sense, given that they do at least stand at one spot. Let's take a look anyway. I did notice last time that all of these floating islands seem to recapitulate the worlds that are in the main game. We'll see what it looks like. So yeah, no special achievements other than something out of 50, so let's try to understand that. Okay, so you started at the beach, a nightmare version of the beach with double bonkers. Okay, sure. Or not double bonkers, just standard hammer monkeys, in fact. So, never mind that. Okay, so you collect these as you go, I suppose. And I got a piece of Leon's soul. Okay. Okay, there's probably some kind of soft requirement of it, but we will go for 100%, obviously. So... yeah, so it's kind of like a dark version of the tutorial zone. And then... whoops. So we'll explore somewhat thoroughly and see what we can find. There's a bomb down there. Yeah, of course we'll hit that. And what do we have here? There we go, behind a tree. Just checking a lot of what we had checked previously, so... this is... Oh, we needed hammer, okay. I shouldn't have killed everything. It does not spawn anybody here that will give me hammer, so... Yeah, we'll just need to find one and hopefully we'll be able to come back here. That's okay, we'll go for hammer. Excuse me. We'll take that. Everyone is dead. And yeah, because normally this game is pretty generous about just giving you the copy ability you need on an infinite respawn whenever you need it. But here we'll just do this. I don't know if I'll need needle for anything, but we'll see as we go. Also notice that the soul fragments do obey gravity, so we'll keep that in mind if we see any other segments that require dropping them. And what's down here? Okay. And we'll just punch everything. Oh, whoops. Good practice for the masked hammer, I suppose. Okay. Let's tap this, and... we missed one already. That's alarming. Maybe it's just breaking this open. Yep. That's correct. So 50 soul fragments in this. I guess we likely go through most of World 1 all in one go. That's what I'm guessing be the case. We can heal up with sleep, but I think I'd rather keep hammer. Although we can switch to ranger afterwards. Space ranger a bit. So yeah, why don't we do a deep sleep for no particular reason. This game will let you know when you have all the soul fragments in an area. Oh, you mean in a specific area of a level, or just in... Yeah, so before you progress, right? Or... Because we are still in the same contiguous zone right now, and so I wouldn't know that yet. Okay. That guy looks awfully suspicious, given that he was dark. Okay. And then, this looks like it could have been blown up, but there we go. And then I just float out of that. Great. 7 out of 50. Before a screen transition, I can't go back from. Okay, 7 out of 50, and then we've got 3 more over there, so I guess we might actually be fine. Do I want to switch to needle or ice? No, let's just do it. With Space Ranger. Yeah, with Space Ranger, of course, I can do a stun dodge. And that's pretty helpful. There we go. Doesn't do much damage against this guy, but it's fancy. I feel like Needle probably would have been better. Love you. Now I can just dive right into him. Whoop. Let's dodge accurately, perhaps. Whoops. Missing a few. Yeah, stood a little bit close. Okay, very nice of this game to let you know then, because we are going to be through here with 10 fragments, and that's a nice round number. I think maybe it'll be good. So yeah, I guess if you step on this, then it lets you know, right? Because I hit a warp star. Oh, but it didn't let me know that I had all of them, so did I just not... did I not collect them, or did I collect them? Just, if I didn't get a message. Yeah, because I sort of understood you to mean that I would get some kind of warning if I have skipped anything, but... Oh, it lets you know before the warp star, okay. So that means I missed something, right? Okay, I missed something. That's fine. We'll go back over this afterwards. Yeah, I didn't realize that. If you hadn't told me that, I would not have considered that the game would do that for me. But then at least it lets you know when to stop searching, which I guess makes sense. I'm just sort of considering the implementation of that. Okay, so we were kind of fooled by the roundness of the number 10. Anything back here? Let's see. No worries. It's, like I said, not something I really would have even considered, even if you hadn't mentioned it, so... Because I was thinking that, you know, maybe you would hit the warp star and then it would give you the button prompt. I didn't quite know how that would work, so... I guess if you collect the last one in the area, then it tells you immediately, right? Then... Yeah, that's okay. Now we know. And I don't mind repeating this afterwards, even if it is kind of a recap of the entire World 1. Which is also going to make some of the later worlds pretty interesting, I think, given how some of them are structured. And then, oh, we've got a whole bunch over here. Okay. Whoops. And, oh, okay, so we have 17 at this point. So yeah, we missed something in a previous zone, and we'll just think about that when we come back here next time. Hidden capsules in the area? Yeah, we just saw one, so I wasn't looking very thoroughly, but good to know that for confirmation. Anyway, a bomb is going to be available here. We might want to switch to that just in case it's useful for soul fragments. So it's going to be a homing bomb, of course. But whoops, let's not spam homing bomb. That actually is a problem for me sometimes. And yeah, we'll not reach that. I think I discovered that when I was here just the standard way. Whoops. This I don't think is bombable. No, it's not. But we'll hit this bomb instead. And then that'll blow that up in standard Kirby style. Okay, this is suspicious, and we'll stand on it. Okay, didn't quite grab everything here, but... oh yes, there's also something in the back, if I recall. So we'll just crack this open. And it's just health, okay. So, nothing too special. Although perhaps it allows me to get up here. No, that's probably a bad idea. I think we had tried this before, in fact. When I was here in the main room. Did I find any of the hell rooms? No, I did not. I noticed in the end credits that they do exist, but... and there's one spot that I think I know one of the spots that I must have missed, but... But yeah, I didn't really even think about them as Easter egg rooms until I was just about done. Okay, we need to do this a bit more accurately. I think it is possible to tap all three, but... And then... Hang on. Hang on. The bomb is actually not the best for this, I think. Like, something like... There we go. No, maybe it is. We'll take it. There we go. Okay. Grab that. And, yeah, homing bomb's not going to do much else here. Let's just scan around quickly. Okay, and we'll Indiana Jones our way out of this part. Whoops. I think there is some kind of side passage here. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, there we go. That was what I was thinking about. Let's see if this completes it. It does not. So we... no, there's one additional fragment down there as well. I see it. And we'll see if that completes it. There we go. We got it. So yeah, we'll have to replay... Oops, this level eventually, but... For now, we'll take that. And just go. Better find a Battle Blizzard Bridge secret. So I may have, I'm trying to remember, because I spent a lot of time on that level, and I did, of course, finish everything that was tied to the Waddle Dees, like the early room, but it seems like you're describing that as something that's probably more secret than what the game kind of explicitly flags to you, so I'm not sure if I did. I mean, I guess I would know if I did, right? But I honestly don't remember. Because I spent a fair bit of time secret hunting in that level, because it took me a while to realize that the one of the achievements was in the opening room, and so I also spent a lot of time doing the dual Frosty fight, the twin Frosty fight, rather, without taking damage. And so I went back over the level quite a few times. And so you're telling me there's a secret room that's not required for Waddle Dees. It's possible I missed it. I'll need to look up some kind of like non-spoiler checklist for... You know, this is a list of levels that have unmarked secrets at this point, so we can do some additional hunting. But because I know there's stuff like this all over the game, I just hadn't really searched for it or known how to search for it from how we had played previously. Another long-running Kirby secret tradition. Yeah, I wonder if I have a sense of what you're talking about. Oh, I missed it. Unless it's like the treasures where you get another opportunity, but I think I just missed it. That's okay, we'll keep this one in mind since we have to come back anyway. And so yeah, there's one accounted for that I know I missed. Unless it dropped in anywhere else. No, we just missed it, so we'll go back for it after. And so yeah, this zone will be incomplete, but... you know what? I'm going to go Cutter. Yeah, Homing Bomb I've been having some trouble controlling simply because I keep spamming it and activating it myself prematurely, which is not wise. But in general, I have some pretty spammy habits with most of the attacks in this game, so... naturally, we'll need to unstack that tower on the left side. Whoops. Oh, whoops, lost a Cutter right away. That's awful. Particularly because we might have some issues now breaking everything up top. So let's grab another power. Yeah, Needle will work just fine. We were really excited about the bridge secret because you found it the first time playing and knew what it was referencing. Okay. Like you said, some kind of long-running series gag. I may have some idea of what it is, but I wouldn't know that until I get to it, so... okay, so we know we missed something in this, so let's not be too concerned about the count there for now. Needle is actually not too bad for this. Traffic Cone is going to get me through. Let's mouthful out of there and break this right away. That's nothing. I kind of get the sense I want to take out this bomb though, so let's... Unless we need to bomb for something, but we'll learn this the hard way. I also get the sense that we'll want to keep the cone. Yes, we will. Oh, here we go, let's keep going. And, yeah, stomping on that looks like either a good idea or a really bad idea. We'll go down. Of course we will. There is a room from each level in the world as well as a new room in each of these room worlds. I see. Yeah, I love this idea as a way of doing endgame. Especially because, like, you get to see all of the worlds continuously and really kind of get a sense of their theme and layout that way. Okay, we'll need to be really accurate about the cone stomp in this segment here, I think. Oh, that was not accurate. Yeah, never mind. We kept the cone though, so that's fine. And, okay. Oh, rare star. Okay, great, we'll take it. Which reminds me that I forgot to upgrade any abilities, but that's okay, we'll do it some other time when we actually need it. And yeah, I can tell this is the new room. But of course I didn't know what the overall structure would be. There is a breakable block down below. We'll take it if I don't lose the cone mount first, which is getting to look like a threat. Okay, we'll break either side first. And come back. If I just want to drop down directly, I kind of want to do it that way. It's risky, because my depth perception is awful, but... Oh, let's get out, actually. Oh no, that's gonna be death. Bad idea. One more use for the rare stones I haven't seen yet, okay. Okay, I would assume that I would need to do some of these over again, or not. Let's see. We'll take food. No, we specifically did not want to do that. I knew that. And did it anyway. Okay. Yeah, so let's take this guy out first. Let's take these out just so I can get back here easily. Nope. The cone mouth accuracy is not great sometimes. I had that issue with the multi-mouth challenge as well, where... Whoops. I just had awful aim. Alright, let's go down this way. Fine, fine, we'll do it. There we are. And that's not even going to be complete for this segment, because there's going to be a little bit ahead. Or is there? I mean, usually, though, if you have the set of 3 at the end, that's a tell that there's nothing else. Or, well, no, that was true for the last segment, though. Let's kill these guys first, and we'll determine that. Because with the boulder segment, there actually was something accessible in the pit at the very end, although the pit technically was the second to last spot. It's not really a spoiler. Yeah, I mean, we'll find out either way, so I'll just leave that up to you to decide. So yeah, it looks like I missed something in this segment as well, but like I said, we'll be going back over the level, so... Yeah, because I spent so long replaying, this is going to be some form of Gormondo, maybe. In which case, maybe we should go a hammer. Let's do that. Although Tornado is fantastic. Yeah, it looks like it's... Oh, okay, interesting. That's going to be some kind of variant. Fecto Gormondo? Who knows? Let's watch the cutscene and find out. Phantom Gormondo, okay. Nope, oh. Bad start. Bad start. Okay. I should have actually just... Oh. Gone from this way. No, hang on. I don't have time to do the charge here. Let's stop trying it. Yeah, having a little bit of trouble, but... Oh, trying to dodge that again, and no, it's slow. I can pay a rare stone to get a gotcha figure I don't have yet. Okay, that's not a big deal. I will likely keep them for upgrades for the time being, though. Alright, I'm getting smoked by this guy. Let's actually time some dodges. Maybe going up close with a hammer was not a great idea here. I should have expected that it would be some kind of true form, but... yeah, I'm not trying to tank all the damage. I actually am trying to dodge. I'm just slow. Like this, except, of course, we need to dodge the second slab. So, I'm guessing that... these are the forms we're going to have to learn for True Arena eventually anyway, right? I'm going to go Ranger, actually. We went Ranger in the Colosseum against him, and against Standard Gormondo it just absolutely wrecked him, so we'll do it. Okay. Yeah, you can tell how much bigger his health pool is, in fact. Whoops. Yeah, my dodges were just slow. My timing was totally wrong. Can I hit the rocks? I guess we're not going to find out. Hang on. Okay. Oh, nope. Missed a dodge. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, nope, missed a dodge again. It's too bad because I was going for the Space Ranger counter move and... Okay. Whoops. Can I... do to counter this way, it doesn't really do much. I'm countering the rock rather than him directly. Nope, missed to dodge again. He's so fast with a swipe. I have to beat True Arena before I can trade rest stones for figures. It makes sense to do it that way, because at that point, like, if people are grinding out True Arena, maybe at that point they're going to have a surplus anyway if they're really deep into endgame. Okay. This is not going well. I should be playing more defensively. And yeah, look at that. Need a lot more accuracy on that pattern as well. His health pool is so huge on this. I may actually have to use an item for the first time in the game, but let's learn the pattern first. Oh, can I outrun? Okay, that's a lock-on opportunity for sure. Okay, finally dodged that for once in my life. And missed afterwards. There we go. Just needed to anticipate the swipe a little better. What's my ability tier list? Good question. I haven't really thought about it. I love Time Crash. Although, obviously, its effectiveness goes down quite a bit once you get into the higher health pools. I've been feeling very comfortable with Cutter for a lot of fights. And Tornado for a lot of levels, although maybe for the bosses not as much. So we're going to have to fight him again, because I have to come back here and find the missing fragments, of which there are 6. This is not going well. I should be playing more defensively. Is you during every second of the True Arena? Yeah. I'll consider myself warned. Adventure together. And so yeah, as expected, I'm going to pick up some of the Volume 4 figures along the way, which is why I haven't gone for the machine yet on those. Forgo Bay. I think I do want to go over these levels again while they're fresh. That's been my approach to the whole game so far, is I do try to get 100% on things as I go along, instead of proceeding. So let's go back here and see what we missed. Because this way I'll still have a good sense of what I have completed. So yeah, we missed something in this section. We finished with 10 last time, and it tells you right away. There are 4 pieces hidden around here somewhere. Okay, so that's what we're missing. This is in direct contradiction with a Kirby anime, which posits that Kirby is bad at singing. I remember when the Kirby anime came into existence, but I never actually watched it myself. Like, I definitely noticed when it was made. But I don't think I've watched a single minute of it. Kirby can sing just fine, just needs a combination of the right copy ability and everything else. And yeah, some of this stuff we've checked already in the first section, though. Yeah, so there are 4 clusters that we're missing. Wait, 4, really? Yeah, because we know of 1 in a later section. I didn't know the 4 missing applied only to this section. It must, because we're missing 6 total. So, hammer we already checked, and so yeah, we'll have the freedom to come back and check some of this stuff as we go. This whole section to the left looks suspicious, but oh, how do we not collect? Oh no, we did already collect that one. That's when I noticed that there was a gravity effect. And yeah, thanks, Grandpa. That's a very good point, is that Kirby has clearly been picking up an expanded skill set over time, so, you know, who's to say you can't be a very self-motivated improver at such things. So yeah, I've got to figure out what I'm missing here. We did get all 5 of these fragments previously, I'm pretty sure. We did check here. I think there was... Thinking back to when we originally played this level, I know there's one hidden passage that I actually didn't think to check. If I'm thinking about this properly. We should definitely sleep, though. Yeah, Kirby's more of a dancer, and has been right from the start. Anyway, thank you, Deep Sleep. Oh, too late for the power, as we know. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did collect all 5 last time, but let me check just in case, because maybe I did miss it for some reason. Also, well, now we need to grab projectiles. And remember what it was we were doing for this early part. We killed everything, that's the issue. And they do not respawn, so... That's okay, as long as we still are able to come back here and... Yeah, we got that. This one here... Slide kick can break them too. Yeah, the crates, yes. I would expect so. So, yeah, we missed this thing here. And it was a cluster I had missed previously. Okay, great, great. We understand that now, immediately. And we're still missing one more, because we were missing 4 in this section. And then we had 2 other sections unaccounted for where we were missing 1 each in those. One of those I saw was the conveyor belt one that we just were a little bit too late to getting to. And there's 1 more after that that's just totally unaccounted for so far. So yeah. So we'll just have to be careful in this section before we complete it. Also, one thing that this shows off is that... Oh, here it is. Got it. Alright. Next area. And I suppose when you go back to the areas that you've seen previously, do we want to go clutter? Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Or crystal, rather. We'll just combo this guy to death. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not as good as the Space Ranger Stunlock, but, you know... I actually should have just rolled into these with the needle, because I can pick them up, I believe. Hammer's great, we'll do it. And... yeah, I suppose when you get into the next section, it will just tell you immediately, don't bother with the sections, you've got everything, let's skip. Or rather, it won't give you a message that you're missing anything. Yeah, you got all the pieces in this area. Very kind of you to let me know. And we'll get some additional practice against Phantom Gormundo, perhaps. Let's switch to sword. I haven't played much sword lately. Let's... Okay. And then we'll speed through it. Yeah, one thing that was definitely a bit of the level design that stuck out at me when I went through the levels to mop up some of the Waddle Dees is just how quickly they go by when you are just speeding to the exit. Which is why it makes sense to kind of string them all together into world-scale levels like we have here in the postgame, because it feels like it's much more in keeping with, you know, some of the pacing that they were setting up. We got everything in this area? Okay, let's not get whacked. Thanks, Grandpa. You're saying it's a little warmer out than you enjoy? Yeah. It's been a rainy week over here, so I can't say that for myself. but I'm certainly not cooking by any means. Whoops. Yeah, so we finished this area. That's great. We'll speed through it quickly. And naturally, since I wasn't finished with this game yet, I haven't been watching any speedrun content, but in the course of playing it, I was definitely thinking the whole time, wow, speedruns in this game must be tons of fun, even just as a spectator. I know some Metroid runners I know have been working on the speed categories for this game as well. Since we're on the subject of not playing Metroid today, even though the boss rush there has just been released. You've been having issues being productive? Yeah, that's the experience for most of us on Twitch, I think. Although I find Twitch sometimes to be kind of calming as a background to work. But depending on how easily distractible you are. Anyway, next section, let's see. We are missing the conveyor belt one. I think that's the only one, so. Elflin's going to give me the hint here. There's only one piece. I know where it is, I think. This is the section I think it is. Did I need Dragonfire for anything? I don't think I did. I don't think it's really going to help me. We want speed here, and sword is great for speed. Yeah, it was in this section here. Yes, because we need to bomb this and get straight back right away. Oh, jeez, I'm going to miss it. Let's just take a death here and reset in this section. Yeah, I actually want to hit the block remotely. Sword is not going to be good here because there's too much running time to get back. And yes, Phantom Gorimondo is difficult enough that I am just going to replay the section rather than replay the level. However, I will need something to hit that with. We can probably just do a star. There we go. Okay, let's move on to the next section. And grab Cutter. And so yeah, let's try to speed through the rest. And we'll stay on Cutter for the time being. Yeah, Dragonfire does have wings. I didn't really need them for much, but no, I was missing one in this section, so we'll see where that is. I believe I will almost certainly need to keep the cone for it, since this is the whole point of this area. So, let's see. We have checked this previously. Whoops. Let's not do that. Okay, we checked this off the side previously. I think we got everything we needed to see here, but just going to be thorough about it. It's not going to be too close to anything else like that, so. We did check this side to the left. Oh, we didn't check the top. How shall I get up there? Let's just float up, perhaps? Or did I check the top? I think you go there from this side here, right? Let me check this. We have checked this, obviously, but yeah, because we go up like this. I didn't check what was past the fountain, but there's nothing. Okay. Okay, yeah, because I was thinking maybe there's something past the fountain here, but instead we'll grab this. And yeah, True Arena, we'll see how we do. I see it. I see it. I need to drop the cone then and probably float down. Will I actually survive that? I think this looks suspicious. Like I'm supposed to do this with a bomb or something. Or float back, or... I know, we can do it. Okay, there we go. Now, I don't really need to keep cone for the rest here, but we'll do it anyway, just for the style points and to skip around a bit like this. And here we go. Oops. And yeah, we'll just skip. Now that should account for everything, right? Yeah, because we're here at Phantom Gormondo already with 50 out of 50, and then we have the same choice that we had before. Ranger has the ranged attack and the counter. Cutter... I'm tempted to stay on Cutter, to be honest. Although the damage output at the kind of range I'll be fighting with is maybe not going to be as good as Ranger. Well, let's stay with it. We need to research this kind of thing anyway for eventual arena purposes. Alright, let's fight. Strong Arm Delusion. No, missed a dodge right away. Yeah, that dodge has been giving me issues, so we probably should have just stayed on Ranger. But... okay. Oh no, I keep forgetting about the second swipe and a third swipe. Yeah, this dodge, always a little bit slow for me. That's okay. And yeah, he comes away empty-handed and is not happy to see it. And there we go. Second swipe, there we go. Third swipe, there we go. Much better. Yeah, damage output on Cutter is too low for this, though. I know. We need a Ranger. You're saying learning dodges is probably a good idea? Yeah. For sure. I mean, in general, it's good anyway, regardless of all the counters that we're using it for. Thanks, Grandpa. You said you played the whole game, including the boss rush, without knowing there was a dodge. Isn't there one Waddle Dee that has like, there's a boss that has a Waddle Dee achievement for clearing the fight without using the dodge, right? Or without using the block or something like that. I would think that you would have at least noticed it from there. I was thinking of using the heal there, but I think I actually just want to change items back to Space Ranger, because... yeah, the problem with the Cutter Blade is that I need to stand close enough that I'm still within swipe distance for this fight, and that's not going to work out too well. Okay, let's do the dodges properly. Okay. I'm standing a little too far, actually. I'm out of range. Slightly. We actually got damage in, so... Oh, too slow, once again. Thought I could take an extra shot there. Sorry, I need to be off mic briefly, but thanks, Grandpa. I'll answer that in a sec.